Hey guys, Kevin Zelman here with your voice recap. The competition is officially underway, so we're about to enter the first week of the live playoffs. Also, in just a few minutes, we'll have voice finalist Manny Cabo live to answer all of your questions. So in order to get to Manny faster, let's get into the last night of the knockouts with key advisor Rihanna. Adam Levine paired Adele lookalike Shelby Brown, who sang Jesus Take the Wheel by Carrie Underwood, against James Dupree, who took on Sure Be Cool If You Did by Blake Shelton. While Shelby struggled with her confidence and James wanted to showcase more of his countryside, Shelby won the knockout, moving to the playoffs. Pharrell paired one of my frontrunners, Evan McKeel, against one of his steals, Tim Atlas. While Evan is more of a soul singer, Tim was told by Rihanna to embrace his more awkward side because that is when he seems most comfortable on stage. Evan ended up taking home the gold for his knockout. Gwen Stefani paired rocker Coda Wade, who sang Barracuda, with soul singer Jeffrey Austin, who took on one of my favorite Adele songs, Turning Tables. Now, usually singing an Adele song is a death sentence, but Jeffrey knocked it out of the park and proved that he is in it to win it. Needless to say, Gwen chose Jeffrey as the winner of the knockout. Blake Shelton had country singer Emily Ann Roberts against the soulful Nadja Nicole. Blake told Emily Ann that she has the potential to be in this industry for a very long time. Blake ultimately chose Emily Ann as the winner of the knockout, moving her to the live playoffs. I have to say that I think this week of the knockouts was the best because we had so many vocal powerhouses in one episode. The following artists are not new to my artist to watch list, but I want to reiterate how great these artists really are. Make sure you guys stick around because after this, we are also a minute away from having Manny Cabo joining us live. So here are my artists you need to keep an eye out for throughout the season. First, we have Shelby Brown. Shelby is an incredible talent because she knows her voice very well. She can sing country, she could sing soul, pop, rock, and just about everything else. There isn't much that Shelby can't do. Because of her versatility, she will appeal to more people, therefore getting more votes. I am really excited to see what she does next week in the lives. Evan McKeel is also on my list. He sings soul songs, but as we saw from this last week, he can also sing rock. So you guys can tell my main thing is versatility, and I do think he will appeal to a wide range of people, and he has proven that his voice is not one to mess around with. Lastly, we have Jeffrey Austin. He left me absolutely speechless after his knockout. He has such a one-of-a-kind voice that I believe people can listen to all day long. He will be able to sing older classic songs along with contemporary songs, and he's covered Sam Smith in the blind auditions and Adele in the knockouts. But now I want to hear him sing Sia's Chandelier because I think that would be pure magic on the voice stage. So you guys know that I've been teasing on Twitter these last few days throughout the show, and he is someone that I have spoken about multiple times here on The Voice Recap. I'm so excited to have Manny Cabo with us. How are you, Manny?
I'm great, man.
Thanks so much for having me, Kevin. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm exceptionally well, and I do appreciate you guys actually giving me an opportunity to be on your show, man. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for joining us. So I wanted to know, we're going to get right into it. What was the best advice that you got from being on The Voice or from Adam and from your advisor, John Fogerty?
I guess the best piece of advice for me, without a doubt, was this show is just a stepping stone. And they basically said I was already armed with the tools necessary to make it in this industry and to just stay true to myself. And that's definitely something that I uphold every single day. And you could see it in my performance where Pharrell's like, you know, Manny, your voice is stratospheric. Just go out and make an album and continue to do it. You know, you have great exposure on being on the show. So just do what you love. And I'm a firm believer that's what you have to do, as I've alluded to so many times before with you.
Yes, we were talking before, for those of you who don't know, we were talking that you have to do what makes you happy, and just by talking with Manny prior to this, music, he loves music. So I want to know how much you saw yourself grow from prior to being on The Voice and then being on The Voice and now afterwards. I'm sure you're doing some more gigs and everything. How did you see yourself grow there?
You know, that's a great question, and one thing that I really adopted is, first of all, being surrounded by such versatile and consummate talent, that in itself is kind of an eye-opener because you learn so many techniques and you appreciate the artistry of so many different artists because you get to realize that a song could be sang a totally different way from listening to somebody else's perspective. So that in itself gave me totally a different new outlook on different nuances and how to implement that into my own musical style. And that's something that I think is indispensable for any type of artist. You have to listen to everything and listen to different renditions and different voice registers is something that's, I think it's imperative.
Every voice contestant that I've been speaking with on Twitter or via phone conferences, everyone has been saying that they act like a sponge and they're trying to absorb every single thing, whether it's their coach, other contestants, other advisors, etc. They're trying to soak everything in to make them the best as possible. So I totally get that.
Well, obviously they're doing something right because these performances have been nothing less than stellar. So obviously they're definitely being the sponges that they dictate to be.
Yes, yes, exactly. If you made it to the knockouts, do you know what song you would have chosen to sing?
That's a great question. And I'm very comfortable singing a little bit of everything, but obviously I would have to stick to a genre that I'm most embraced closely to, something rock, something commercial. I don't know if it's anything from Goo Goo Dolls to The Police and I'm glad Keith chose a Foreigner song because I love Foreigner. I'd keep it local, so maybe something from Bon Jovi. I don't know. That's a very, very good question and something that I've never really had to face because, you know, when you're putting a set list singing in a cover band, you get thrown with a slew of different requests. So we just try whatever best fits, but in a situation where I would have to really target a song for a specific performance, that's a tough one because not only do you have to pick a song that you're comfortable with, because rule number one when you sing a song, you have to know the lyrics inside out because you cannot make a song your own without understanding and feeling the emotional aptitude of the song. So there's a lot of elements that come into play, and it's amazing, but America and the world only sees the artist when they're performing. But the amount of diligence that goes behind the scenes of learning a song, having to unlearn, and this is a personal experience. I've been singing Whitesnake so many years now, and I had to unlearn a couple of things. So there's a lot of procedure involved in making that moment, you know, shine and hitting those apex notes that everyone's like, whoa. But it's pretty exciting to know that all hard work does pay off. And once you're on that stage, it's kind of difficult because people don't realize probably the most difficult and challenging part of being on the show is when you're walking onto that stage and there's no crowd, there's no fist pumping, there's no bottles being thrown, nothing of the sort. You could hear a pin drop. Right. That's got to be one of the most intimidating feelings of going on before you have to belt a song for 90 seconds and knowing that 14 million people's eyes are on you. Need I say more?
No, you don't. 14 million people, I couldn't even imagine that. Last question here. When you were told in the battles you're going to be with Keith, you were against Keith, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What was your initial reaction?
You know what's funny? Me and Keith did a high five and we embraced each other because we're like, you know what? And again, everyone knows how I'm programmed. I don't compete. I don't believe in it. I believe that when you compete, you're exerting so much unneeded energy on focusing on winning that you're taking away from the actual journey of learning the song and having fun in the moment. So me and Keith, we embrace the whole concept of let's make this song our own. Let's embrace the song and let's feed off of each other and compliment one another because that in itself makes for the best possible performance. And as you can see, evidenced by the result, we kind of knocked it out of the park, and that's not boasting. It's just we had so much fun that it was never about winning the battle. And I'm so grateful that Keith went forward because he deserves it. He killed it. And you know what? I'm more than happy for him. And I was really honored to be a part of that whole process of building the song with him and choreographing the song and even performing it.
You are one of, I think, the easiest people to talk with, the best attitude, and I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show, Manny. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was my pleasure. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you, and seriously, man, I tell everybody, just live in the moment and enjoy the journey, man. Kevin, you know how I think, man. And you too. I think you're doing a stellar job, and I appreciate all the positive feedback that you're giving all these kids, man. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Manny. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
Bye. All right, guys, don't you just love Manny? He's just the best. So this last week, it was announced that each coach will be bringing back an eliminated contestant called the Coach Comeback. This coming Monday, we're going to find out which artist will be back on the show. And tweet me at Kevin Zelman your predictions on who you think will be coming back, because I already have my wheels turning for who I think will be back on the show. Before we head out, let's see where each team lies currently. Team Adam is, I think, the strongest team out of the four, with the dreamy Amy Vachel, pop country singer Blaine Mitchell, Irish rocker Keith Semple, who, as we just found out, went against Manny Cabo in the battles, and country powerhouse Shelby Brown and the one and only Jordan Smith. Team Blake is standing strong with the artist who I predicted to win The Voice, Barrett Baber, 15-year-old Emily Ann Roberts, pop singer Ivana Saro, and country singers Morgan Fraser and Zach Seabaugh. Team Gwen is looking good with 15-year-old Braden Sunshine, the soulful Jeffrey Austin, the quirky Corinne Bukowski, powerhouse Regina Love, and Hungarian superstar Victor Corrale. Lastly, Team Pharrell is also really strong with the soulful Darius Scott and Evan McKeel, indie singer Maddie Davis, the very energetic Mark Hood, and the artist who was the last steal of the Knockouts and was stolen back to Team Pharrell, Riley Beatier. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week, and thank you Morty's TV and Reality Wanted for being so unbelievably supportive of The Voice Recap. Make sure everyone you go and check them out, because they not only post great content of The Voice, they post great content, I cannot speak anymore, for all reality shows and a bunch of other TV shows, so make sure you check them out. Next week, I unfortunately will not be here recapping The Voice for you, so make sure you follow me on Twitter at Kevin Zelman using hashtag VoiceRecap to get my opinions and all my commentary on the first week of the live playoffs. But before we head out, one last piece of really exciting news. I will be backstage interviewing the contestants each week, so make sure you stay tuned for all of those right here on our website, theStream.tv, and go to theStream.tv/The Voice for all of our other Voice content. See you guys in 2 weeks.